Dude, that was cool.
Oh my god! Oh, what a free flip. That was insane.
Ooh!
Yes, sir. Whoa, no! Well, you guys got it! Let's go! I was just the first. You know, like the option play? I was just one of the options.
That's right.
Yeah.
You could have pitched the fullback or the, you know, or the wide out, but you just got the
Thanks, Rat.
Oh, weird ass touch. I get the pass, let's go! I
always like the touch pass.
I'm gonna tell my
Didn't have too much.
Oh,
Just kind of wait for it to come down a little bit.
your little taste. Dude, you only lost by one.
Whoa. The camera angle is so weird for that.
Dude, thanks. First ever redemption of an RL1v1.
Gotta get some more. Hello. What? Nice. Pull shot. Hey, pull shot.
Look at this,
Let's go.
dude. Look at this.
Pull shot. And you can finger on the approach. Oh! Let's go! Nice pass. I think I was going in there.
Oh my.
Interesting. Might switch this up. Not just like that. I just like made it there. Like, it's gonna come here eventually. Oh, what a touch. Nice. Almost close. It's like oh, it's an never mind.
Let's go.
Nice shot. It's like I got.
choosing a topper right now. Ooh, campfire. That's pretty
Flannel? Yeah.
Campfire.
I just literally, yeah.
Oh my god, no! Of course. Of course we both thought of it.
I was like, flannel? Campfire? Hell yeah.
Well, we came to the same conclusion. Respect.
There, yeah. And then
Oh,
he turned around and like wanted me to jump. Ooh. Yeah?
oh, let's go! Right off the bat! Let's fucking go! 3 seconds in. We're back.
Oh,
Way back, way back. Or don't let you finish. Whichever's more inspiring. Oh, nice pass. But it was a little bit. Flipped. Flipped and shipped. Big bus energy.
Dip it, flip it, skip it.
Whoops.
Oh,
Project.
no, it's
Project.
Let's go!
Project. Okay.
Cut them open.
Test. Cool. Alright.
The pain makes me go numb. The scars within our words. Just tell me what to do. I need some help.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I turned it off, turned it right back on again. What's up, guys? Welcome in. Got my pirate outfit here. Looking pretty snazzy. Old Spirit Halloween, you love to see it. And the medallion. Got a very cool hat here. I love these little tassels. Came with a belt, but I like to have, you know, do a little dance here. Yeah, I like it. All right, so we set up in my parents' kitchen here. Let's see, that'll be our next little screen that we turn on. Make that live. Watch this. And I would stop doing all the things. Alright. We are good to go. So, let's talk about commands real quick. We got all the recipes here. You also see them up at the top there. All the stuff that I'm cooking. Also, there's some themed sound. There's some themed. Oh, I'll fix that. There we go. There's also some themed channel point things. Crab rave and talk like a pirate. So, spice things up a little bit, but I think we're gonna get started with lobster. So. Mic a little bit closer. All right, we're good to go. I'm gonna get my second screen up. Dude, I just so I always really liked mixing coffee with Coke, like Coca-Cola, usually like Diet Coke or Coke Zero, and I always got a lot of shit from like everyone that I told about it. But Coca-Cola just came out with a, I mean, I'm pretty sure they've done coffee and Coke before. I think it was like a 90s thing, but it was something that my mom would do, but yeah, love it. Coke Zero and coffee, it's like the ultimate pick-me-up, so it's cool to have it in one little convenient consumer package. Big fan. Good, full battery on that. We are good. Get my dashboard up over here. Put this up here. Leave that open in case I need to take any fun clips or anything. Sweet. All right, so we got our lobster pot boiling back there. So we got some really nice lobster tails I'll pull out. Got gloves here. Got some gloves. Okay. Man, this Coke and coffee is so good. All right. So we're going to start the stream by boiling our lobster tails. And I was gonna do like a whole lobster boil on stream because I think it's cool. Teach people how to do that. But I was worried it would be breaking TOS. And I never really checked into it, so I'm just gonna poach some lobster rolls because I was gonna like brain spike it and do it how you do it in restaurants, but I'm not sure if I wanna get like TOS for that. So I mean, I doubt it, but still, I just did. I'm better safe than sorry. So I got some water boiling back there, you can see. So I'm just gonna season the water up a little bit. Water, and so whenever you're boiling any sort of like, you know, pasta or, you know, shellfish, court bouillon or anything, always want to make sure you have a little salt in it. You want to have the water taste like quote unquote the sea, which is usually a 0.02% salt concentration, which is more technical. But having water that tastes like the sea is a lot easier to describe and grasp. So And that just kind of helps season the lobster tail as you cook it. So, yeah, have a little taste of this fine water, this fine boiling hot water here. It's salty. All right, so as I'm sure everyone knows, lobster tails, you usually see them, they're always like kind of curled up a little bit, but I want a nice long kind of lobster portion, and you see this a lot in like kitchens and stuff. But pretty much you got nice lobster tail here. These are pretty small, 7-ounce lobster tails, Alaskan, and I'm just going to put a little broquette or big thing through there, and then there we go. And then that'll help me pull it out of the water as well. So I'm just gonna have it sitting in there like that, and then it'll cook very nice and straight like that. So I'm gonna get the next one in. Because we're doing 2 lobster preps. We're gonna do lobster with hollandaise and some fried shallot, and then we're also doing a classic lobster roll. So this will help keep the tails nice and straight, so it looks nice on the plate. I'm gonna put these guys in, and then I'm gonna start a little timer for 8 minutes. So these are just going in some boiling salted water. All right, and there we go. Put a little timer on my phone, a little 8-minute timer. So generally, for every ounce of meat is how long you should boil a lobster tail. So these are about 8 ounces. So I'm gonna boil it for about 8 minutes. That's kind of a good rule of thumb for lobsters. And you don't want it like roaring boil, you want like call it a soft boil. So it's still bubbling, as you can kind of see. You know, there's still water bubbles coming up, but it's not quite roaring bowl. You just want that that soft, slow bubble. All right, so now it's taking me so long to get a timer that a minute has passed, so I'm gonna put a 7-minute timer. Been distracted. Okay. Timer's on, we'll get that in a sec. Get some more gloves here. And then we're gonna start breaking down a little salmon here. Breaking it into 2 separate portions. Where did I put that? Oh, there it is. Sweet. All right. So I'm gonna be breaking this salmon into 2 separate, around about 4-ounce fillets. Delicious. One's gonna be for lobster. One's gonna be for the tataki, and the other one's gonna be for the salmon ACL. Lobster tails are still going. I just kind of flipped it over a little bit, so move my mouse up there. I'm going to grab our nice piece of Atlantic salmon here. Just gonna trim it up a tidge into our separate portions that we're using. There we go. So here along this line is the belly. Oh my! So I'm just gonna cut this belly off, and we're gonna save it for something a little bit later. So this is generally the fattier piece right here. You can tell there's a nice long, because this is the belly, so it's nice and fatty. So we're gonna trim that a little bit off, and that'll be part of the tataki. So we're just gonna kind of one quick cut down there. Oh, got to get that skin there. Nice costume. Thanks. Sweet. And then we're gonna break this piece into 2 separate pieces. One for tataki, one for the sauce ACL. So we got 2. I would guess around about 5, maybe 6-ounce salmon fillets. And then one, since it's gonna be tataki, we're gonna take the skin off. So I'm gonna trim this up just a little bit more. That'll be the skin that we get nice and crispy.
Thank you for your patronage.
Thank you for your patronage. Oh god. Alright, well. Turn the water up a little bit too high. So that is what you want to avoid. A roaring boil is when the water goes everywhere. So you want to keep it just below that. My parents have have gas, and I'm used to cooking like on coils and stuff, so at home at least. Yeah, so nice piece of salmon here, and we're gonna take the skin off of this one for the tataki, and that'll probably be the next thing we do. So take the skin off. We're just gonna kind of get under the skin, and in a kind of more or less try not to saw a motion too much, just kind of removing the skin from the meat, because you generally don't have to cut. Like, you could stick your finger in there, and it's that, see, it just comes right off. So this part we're gonna use for the tataki. Put that there. Salmon skin, make a really good chip. Throw it in the deep fryer at 325 until they're crispy. You gotta make sure you clean off all the skin though, or in the oven at 350, pressed, and then it'll eventually get nice and crispy and kind of be like almost crackling. So you make a nice garnish, but I'm going to put our salmon away for now. These lobsters are about to come out. Actually, in about 3 minutes. So So we just move the lobster boil over a little bit because I'm going to get a pan up and then get that tataki working. So tataki is generally beef. I mean, it's a lot of different things. Beef, sometimes fish, sometimes pork or anything. And it's cooked on both sides very quickly. So it's still raw in the middle. So the outsides are cooked, but the inside is still pretty raw. So that's kind of what we're going for with the tataki. So I have a little tataki seasoning spice. It's very similar to, I would say, probably like a blackened seasoning, like a Cajun blackened seasoning, because that's kind of what I was going for. So, but it's closer. I guess the closest thing would be togarashi, because it does have some black sesame seeds, like that nice nuttiness on the salmon. But exclamation point recipes for all the specifics on the recipes. But we're pretty much just gonna, our spice blend, we're just gonna dip the salmon in there, get a nice crust on it, and then chill it, and we'll come back to it later. Got about a minute and a half left on these tails. All right, our pan's looking already pretty warm for the tataki. We're gonna get it hot, but not too hot, because there's a little bit of paprika in here. And paprika, even though, blackening seasoning, you kind of want that nice kind of crust, that kind of, burnt paprika kind of flavor. But we don't want it too hot, so. Plus we don't want it, it's a small piece of salmon for the tataki, so we don't want to overcook it. Just want it, nice and raw on the inside. So let's get that next one out, and then I'm gonna grab some ice water, some ice, bowl for the lobster tails. I'm just gonna mute my mic because getting ice is loud. Okay, so the lobsters are about to come out. I got some ice with water in it, and we're gonna get that good to go. Let's see here. Timer's going off right now, so. All right, cool. So now we have our lobster tails here. Nice and cooked, nice and red, and then they're going right into our little water bath. And then the skewers, kind of like I said, cooks them nice and straight, plus they're easy to take out of the boiling water. So dispose of this lobster boil water here. Probably mute the mic again. Oh, look at that. Okay, now the lobster tails are chilling in this ice water here, and that's just to kind of stop the cooking process and cool them down pretty quickly so they don't overcook too much or anything. But we got that ready here. Let me get my gloves out. Alright, the pan's still getting warm for the tataki. It's at a pretty even temperature right now, so. Crab cakes? Hell yeah. Excited for them too. Alright, that's right. Hey, crab rape! Alright, putting that salmon away. So the lobster tears are chilling right now. We got our skinless salmon right here. We're going to dust it in our togarashi blackening seasoning. I'm just going to make sure the pan's hot enough. I'm going to grab a little bit of canola oil here. Let's see here. Alright, so the oil's moving pretty freely, so I'm going to get the crust on this salmon and then start searing this nice little piece, and then we'll get back to this guy later because this is going to be a cold preparation called tataki, so gotta let it chill. Just getting all that sesame seed, blackening seasoning, ginger, turmeric, lots of different stuff, exclamation point recipes for the specifics, but yes, the sound of classic gas stove, dude. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, my parents have a really nice kitchen, so yeah. Now that we got the salmon nice and crusted and the seasonings here, this is gonna be very similar to like a blackened salmon. So I'm gonna put it in the pan. All right, and that will take not too long because we're gonna be cooking it very lightly. We got it very lightly on both sides because it will be mostly raw whenever we serve it. I'm just gonna clean this board off here. Okay, that was my protein board. The green's gonna be for all my veg and stuff, just cause. But yeah, I don't know if you can see this here, but I got this knife right before like COVID happened. It'll probably be hard to focus, but it's got my knife, it's got my name, my user tag engraved on it. So it's a pretty nice knife. Yeah, so the salmon, it's been cooking for about maybe 30 seconds to a minute right now on high heat, so I'm about to flip it. So there we go. It's going to go for another like probably 30 seconds, and then we're going to take it, cool it off, because it will be served a little bit cold. Casual chef just flexing on us like that. Like what? Ah, yes, I summon you. Oh, that's right. I forgot to tell Dirty that I was about to start streaming. I got like a bit of a late start, and I had an internet issue, so I forgot to tell him. I didn't know that knife was engraved. Yeah, it's a Korin knife. In Korin, it's a knife shop in Japan. It's a Japanese knife shop in New York. And it's really good to order from because they do engravings for like $5 extra and a lifetime warranty. So like, let's say I like threw this on the ground and chipped it, right? Then I could send it back and they would fix it for me, free of charge. I'd have to pay for shipping, but. Gotta turn. Forgot about the little stove thing. I know that's pretty loud, but it won't take too long to suck up all the... There we go, we're fine. But yeah, so this was cooked very lightly on both sides, so it'll still be kind of raw in the middle. So we're gonna go and chill this. And that will be for the tataki that we do in a little bit. All right.
Stay hydrated. This is a threat.
Okay. All right, so lobster is cooked. The salmon tataki is chilling. We're going to start mixing together our crab cakes in a little bowl here. Oh, how's everybody's weekend doing? Hey, oh, thank you for the dab. All right, we are not using this right now, so I shall. Alright. So, crab cakes, we got our meat here. Talk. Yar, we have to talk like a pirate for a minute, eh? See, we have these scarily crabs, you see. No press receipts for the... Yeah. That's some nicely picked crabs, picked through. Yar, so... We're just gonna have to clean them a little bit more just to make sure everything's okay. There do be shells in the crab, you know. You gotta pick through and make sure there's no shells. Bit of a choking hazard. Yark, 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 yark. My pirate will sound a lot like Patchy the Pirate from SpongeBob. You're just shredding the crab meat here, my boy. Kind of Mr. Krabsy too. So, we have some nice lump crab. And we're just kind of shredding it up a little bit. Also checking for... like I was saying, or like Patchy the Pirate was saying, just gotta make sure there's no crab or shell fragments, because that's kind of a not pleasant to eat, especially because we don't digest, we don't really digest those well, so they could be stuck in your system for a while. And because, you know, could chip a tooth with shell fragments, they definitely don't go anywhere. So. You spend a lot of time doing this in kitchens, by the way. Picking crab, man. Picking crab on the clock. I got crab rave stuck in my head already. Damn. Alright, so just picking this crab, making sure there's no shells, no other fragments. So we got about 8 ounces of crab meat here. Ah! Hey, what's up, Dirty? How you doing? Chef KS, welcome in. We're just picking some crab meat, making sure there are no shells for the crab cakes. So we just chilling, Yeah, kitchen is more is more cleaning than cooking 70% of the time. True. Cleaning and preparing and all that fun stuff. Removing all the choking hazards, basically. so we're almost done here. But we got about 8 ounces of crab meat, and this is just basic lump crab. Any sort of crab works well for crab cakes. I mean, even claw meat works fine too. So whatever you buy, but this is just some lump crab. So we got 8 ounces of crab. We're gonna get 4 ounces of Duke's mayonnaise, 1 tablespoon coarse ground mustard, 1 teaspoon Worcestershire, some salt and pepper to taste.
Stay hydrated. This is a threat.
Thank you for the hydration, Fast 8. Alright, now that the crab has been cleared of choking hazards. Lovely. What type of crab do you personally like to eat or cook with? I really like crab legs, like really big, like king crab legs. I think those are really fun to eat. But if not that, then crab cakes. Crab cakes is a close second, dude. I fucking love crab cakes. All right, so we got all the crab nice and picked in there. King crab is amazing, true, yeah. Got all the picked crab in there, and that's 8 ounces of crab, so let's pull one glove off. All right, so we have all of our wet ingredients here. Our mayo, our Worcestershire, a little bit of egg as well, 1 egg yolk. Egg yolk is just to help everything bind together, plus when it cooks, it stays together. So we got everything in there. We're just gonna mix all of the wet ingredients, quote unquote wet ingredients, before we add the breadcrumbs and then everything else. And all that other fun stuff. Alright, just gonna kind of mix the mayo and everything in there. And then we're gonna add some herbs and some scallions, and then we'll add the breadcrumb. Nothing worse than a crab cake that's mostly breadcrumb. This crab cake is going to be mostly crab and egg and herbs and a lot of fun stuff. All right, so we got that mixed together. I'm going to put this in the fridge for a second while we slice our scallions and get going. All right, so we got the crab mixed together. Now we're just going to kind of shred up some scallion whites. Getting hungry. I've got some chopped parsley and a little bit of dill here. We'll add that in at the end, but right now this is just the white part of the scallion, right? Or the green onion, whatever you want to call them. So I like to add, and most people I would say probably add a little bit of shallot into their crab cake mix, add a little onion flavor. I like using scallions personally, just because I really like the taste of onions. So I cut them in half, and then I cut them in half again, and then I'm just gonna chop down. And then we'll probably chop that one more time, because we want it nice and thin. All right. Go through them one more time. Sweet. So we got nice finely chopped scallions, satisfying chops, yeah. Cooking stream / chopping ASMR. All right, next glove. Also going to grab my little press here. Get set up. wax paper for later. Okay, herbs, crab, bread. Alright, got our nicely picked crab there. Is this still Twitch? I thought it was Food Network for a second. That's funny. Alright, so we got our scallion whites up in there. Then we got some chopped parsley here, some chopped Italian parsley. We're gonna do about a teaspoon chopped parsley. And then we'll do about a teaspoon chopped dill, because dill is pretty powerful and this is nice and fresh too. So let's go about that. Then we're gonna add our breadcrumbs and we'll start making the little patties. So we got all of our herbs mixed with pretty much everything else in there, the crab, all of our mayo and everything, and then about 4 ounces of breadcrumb here. We'll put that in. Then give it a mix, and then I'm gonna press it into a nice little ring mold, let that set, and then work on the next task. So we're just pretty much incorporating the breadcrumbs into the crab, just squanching it in together. That's the technical term, by the way, is squanching, in case you're wondering. Wow, I was expecting to have like only, because I was gonna do like a pound of meat, and I'm glad I only did 8 ounces because this is a lot more than I thought. It's a squaw. So yeah, now we have a nice looking breadcrumb here. You can nice and form it. So we're gonna form 2, but it looks like we'll have crab cakes for tomorrow too, so that's awesome. More crab cakes the better. All right. You a panko guy? What's your breadcrumb take? Give me your hot breadcrumb take, brother. But yeah, no, I feel that. I was actually kind of deciding what I wanted my official stance to be since I'm streaming it. But I decided panko just because I would say panko, but I mean rye breadcrumbs could work equally as well. The majority of the crab cakes that I made have not been panko, but I wanted to do it for this time. All right, let's say it's about. It's a nice 5 ouncer. A little 4. I'll put it in a little ring mold here. Let's get a smidge more. Then we're just gonna press it into the ring mold. We have wax paper on here just so it'll turn out easier a little bit later. So we're just pressing it in there, getting it nice and flat, and then lifting it up, and then you have a nice, beautiful, shapely, seductive crab cake. Since we got more, let's just keep pressing them out. Looks like we'll have like almost 4 crab cakes. Hog, W. Another nicely pressed crab cake there. Oh, looks like we'll have like perfect amount for 2.5. Hell yeah. Shapely, seductive crab cake. That's why you come to the Doughboy channel. For the seductive crab cakes. Expect nothing less. You can lure me anywhere with a crab cake. It's like, you know, when like in the window seal it's a pie and then like it lifts people and flavors, but it's Dirty's face and it's like a crab cake in a window and he's like just, you know, doing the little floating thing. That's what I pictured. Why aren't crab cake sandwiches more common? Sounds delicious to me right now. That does sound good. It'd be like a lot of breading, because like bread and then breading in the middle. I mean, I'm sure it could work, you know. But yeah, so we got our.
I'm just sitting here watching.
And these lights are just so bright, kind of hard to focus on it. Oh, wait, I can pull up. Yada. Yeet. All right. Oh yeah, much better there. So yeah, nice crab cake patties. A lot of bread, maybe a pita wrap. Ooh, yeah. Like a lettuce wrap, maybe. Now we're talking. All right, at the end of the stream, I need 3 investors for a crab cake themed restaurant. Okay. Next one. $10 to invest. Let's go. All right, getting the next little pieces together. Don't you hate that you put something in like a specific place that's like so that you'll remember it, and then you don't remember where you put it? It happens to me all the time. Literally just happened to me. All right, so the crab cakes are chilling right now. That's good to go. We're going to. I'm not gonna lose it. $10. Dirty getting in on the bottom floor there. Our first investor loses glasses on face. Alright, so we're going to do a little radish mini net, exclamation point recipes, and then we're going to get into the lobster roll. And then we'll cook the crab cakes after those are done chilling. I was going to like spray paint my beard black, but kind of ran out of time. Plus, it didn't smell great, so I didn't really want to do it, but I think just the costume is fine. Okay, so we have our radishes here. We got some parsley stems. There'll be a nice little bit of texture. Then we have lemon juice and apple cider vinegar. And a mini net, generally it's a French dish, or it's a French condiment that usually served with oysters. And it's usually like black peppers and shallots, but I like adding radish to it, especially on a lobster roll, because I love radishes, and lobster rolls, I would say, should have radishes in my opinion. You look perfect. Well, thank you. So we got these radishes, and we're just gonna kind of dice them up. Just kind of making some nice slices here. Eat myself a radish. Love me a radish. Thoughts on radishes, chat? I know Dirty fucks with radishes. Radishes we get from the garden a bit. Yeah, I remember you saying that last cooking stream. So we're just going to dice these radishes up a little bit. And this is going to be a condiment for the lobster roll, essentially. All right, so we're going to take them down to a brunoise, which is a French term. It means an eighth by an eighth by an eighth of an inch. So these guys are pretty small, you know, barely fit in my finger, kind of that tiny. So get them nice and small so we get a lot of them in one bite. Getting them nice and small. This is what a lot of fine dining is, cutting things into brunoise. So many times, so generally at restaurants that are like fine dining or around thereabouts, before you hire somebody, usually have them work a a trial shift or a stage. And like when I first started, the stages were almost always never paid. Like we would just work for free, then we'd get the job if we showed up and didn't fuck up or anything. But like the last couple stages that I've been to, they've all been paid, which is cool. I mean, I'm sure we all remember the whole, during COVID times and stuff. So things for restaurant industry people have gotten a lot better post COVID when it comes to benefits and just overall better pay, which is awesome. So we love to see that. Didn't know dough was fine like that. Yeah, I did go to Le Cordon Bleu, a French culinary school, so learned a lot of French terms. I used to work in fine dining pretty exclusively. Then I got out just because it was starting to take a toll on my mental health a bit. Plus, I really like streaming, and working like 12-hour days at a restaurant doesn't leave a lot of time for streaming. So now I got a job that's like it's full time. It's very chill. I mean, you make sandwiches, so but we make a good majority of our stuff, like our pastrami and corned beef and house and turkey and stuff. So it's a cool spot. I like it. All right, so just finishing up these radishes, chopped radishes. My favorite thing to do with radishes generally is just like eat them with butter. We I was at this restaurant and we had like a radish soup one time. It tasted really good, and I think the only reason why it was like a good soup is because the radishes were super fresh. So they didn't have any of that really burning like ethanol flavor. It was really good. Have you ever cooked with white radishes? Yeah, I've seen white radishes a time or two, for sure. Alright, a little bit mo here. And then we just got some shallots on me as well. And shallots are one thing that you generally see in the mignonette. Usually it's like shallots with red wine vinegar, black pepper, and sometimes like some sweet white wine or mirin. But French-wise, it's usually just black pepper and red wine vinegar. But as always, what's the point of making something if you don't make it your own? That's my opinion. Fresh and fermented radish are incredible. I'm gardening now and have a bed full of them. Nice. That's tight. Yeah, I like a nice pickled radish. I don't like the way they smell. Pickled radishes smell something fierce, but I do like the taste, as long as they're not too old or anything. All right, so we got a nice brunoise of radish here. I guess I'll just turn this back on so you can kind of see. We're going to be getting some more garlic in the ground here soon. Nice. So yeah, just kind of small little pieces there. We're going to throw it in the apple cider vinegar and lemon juice. And then we're going to do a very similar brunoise on this shallot here. And then chop up this parsley stem. I think it's going to go really nice on top of the lobster roll. Love me some garlic. Love like nice fresh green garlic. I like any type of garlic though. Black garlic, regular garlic. Green garlic. Garlic scapes I worked with one time. I'm not a huge fan of those, but I'm sure they could be cool in a way. Like sauteed garlic scapes are pretty good, but there's this restaurant called Daidue in Austin, and I worked there for a little bit. and they had like these pickled garlic scapes that like I think we only used them once for one recipe, but it is like one of the worst smelling smells I've ever smelled. Alright, so we got the radish and nice brunoise of shallots. They're gonna chop up this parsley here. Saying garlic main, bro, let's go. Yeah, the allium that I made is definitely garlic. Bro, which allium do you mean? Alright, so they're sitting in the vinegar and the lemon juice. We got some parsley stems here that we're just gonna kind of chop, chop, chop. Every year I try to appreciate when the garlic skins are purple, and old chef used to praise them and have recipes only for purple garlic. The difference, but I still love it. Yeah, I feel that. Alright, and parsley stems, I love parsley stems. I think they make a really great kind of like textural foil in a lot of things. And I love the way they taste. So I've got some parsley stems here, and you know, they just taste like parsley basically with a nice kind of succulent flavor, kind of like sorrel stem. But we got all of them in here. We're gonna season this up with a little bit of salt and black pepper. Cooking stream! What's up, getting my bin mate? Alright, so our mini net is almost ready. We have everything in. Pull this up so you get a nice look at it. Got some salt and black pepper. I like the pepper to be nice and coarse. Get a nice little texture on it. About a teaspoon. Exclamation point cook to see what's being made. Lots of different stuff. Lobster, crab, scallops. Alright, so the mini net is done. Got a nice little sapling on there. I think I'm going to get a little bit more black pepper. This would be, looks like about a half of a teaspoon. Again, all the recipes, exclamation point recipes, a little bit of salt. Alright, get a little taste test, but it should be good to go. Tasty. You taste the radish. A little bit black pepper, you get the vinegar, a little bit of raw onion. That is going to go great on the lobster roll. All right. Okay. All right, so lobster roll or crab cake? Lobster roll or crab cake? What do we do first? First person decides. Lobster roll or crab cake? First person to type it in chat wins. Roll. Bet. All right. Pluto, it's a lobster roll. Frick. Stream delay, Saj. Alright, so we're going to be breaking into our first lobster tail here. Alright, so we have our lobster tail, nice and cold in the water. Just going to dry it off a little bit. Could I have our skeezers? Alright, skirt. Pull that out of there. So, to deal with the lobster, this is generally how I do it. You just make a little incision down the back. Just kind of, not too deep, you just want to crack the skin open. And be aware, there are projectiles. Shell fragments get everywhere all the time. Can never be too careful when it comes to shellfish. And then you flip around the other side, then same thing. It's not too much of a shell down here, it's a little bit more of cartilage, but and then we're just gonna push through that tail down here. My knife. And then now you just kind of start peeling the lobster shell away from the meat. And generally I like to kind of get my finger underneath there, because the lobster meat will want to kind of stay in the shell, so you kind of have to force it out with your finger a little bit when you're peeling it. Just kind of working it off one at a time. Pull that guy out. Work my finger down here. Da-da-da. And you're just kind of, there we go, pulling it out of the shell. There we go. Got a nice looking lobster tail there. Just gonna dice it up a little bit. So, and this is going to be for the lobster roll. So I give it, run it through 1 time, 2 times with a knife, because we don't want to get it too small. Have that nice crab. I mean, nice lobster, sorry. Nice lobster flavor. Lobster is dealt with. We'll have one more lobster tail a little bit later. All right. So we have the lobster in here. Then we're going to start working on the accoutrement. So we have some herbs, parsley again, with a little bit of dill, which I'm going to toss in there. About a tablespoon of parsley and about a teaspoon of dill again. You'll see those two things a lot because seafood, parsley, and dill just kind of makes sense. Then we have a nice little celery stalk here that we're going to chop up for the mix for a little bit of texture. So just kind of breaking the stalks down. I'm going to cut them in half here. And then I want to make them just a little bit smaller. Not so much a brunoise. It's hard to brunoise celery, but I just want them a little bit smaller. Just a wee bit. There we go. All right, and kind of a similar thing. We're just gonna chop them down, chop it up. Chomp, 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 chomp. I love the sound and how it feels to like cut celery. It's such a satisfying like crunch. It sounds so good. And we're just chopping down the celery. Chop, 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 chop. Alright, got some nice diced celery in there. And that was just about one stalk. Kind of a small stalk. Exclamation point recipes for the for everything, but we're gonna got 2 more scallion whites here, and these, instead of shredding, I'm just gonna actually, I think I will shred these. Alright, cut some more scallions here. Run through them one more time, get them nice and small. There's also no scallions in the lobster roll. A1 knife skills, thank you. I've been doing it for a while. Oh, I love chopping things, it's just so satisfying. All right, and then we got some pickles, because I like pickles. So it was about, let's go four nice dill chip pickles here. I'm just gonna dice them down. Everything nice and small. And again, this is what the radish vinegar, the radish mignonette is gonna go on. Make a little relish here with some dill pickle chippies. All right. Going in. Pickles on me po' boy, hell yeah, dude. Dude, I love a po' boy. Fucks with it. Lovely. Alright. Now we just need to add our wets, our mayo, smidge of mustard. You gotta dust those wets. Man, who's ready for BLS tomorrow? It's gonna be a good week. Love the dill. Roaches in the bathroom. Yeah, BLS. Speaking of hype, though, I want to hear more crab rave. Okay. Oh shit, talk like a pirate, let's go! Alright. Need me gloves! Alright, a lobster roll you'll never taste again along the 7 seas. What I would say would be about 2 ounces of Duke's mayonnaise. Once again, Duke's mayonnaise. If you're looking for a stream sponsor, I'm your guy. Keep me in the loop. If you're looking to, if you're looking to sponsor some streams, I'd love a sponsorship, Duke's Mayo. I've used you in every cooking stream. Yark, 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 yark. All right, so this is a little bit of hot mustard, and I don't want too much. So, bit of a, let's call that about a teaspoon. And then about 3 ounces, I'd say, of Duke's mayonnaise. I'm gonna, again, exclamation point recipes. Is mayonnaise an instrument? That's such a great scene. So we got a lobster mix. We got everything in here. We got the scallions, we got lobster roll, we got, I'm about to season it a little bit, although I tasted the lobster a little bit, so it doesn't need too much seasoning. Definitely needs a little black pepper, but it's got the scallions, the celery, a little bit of pickle, a little bit of hot mustard, black pepper, smidge of salt. I was just heating up my nice French loaf over here. Oh. This is just a basic French roll, French baguette roll, nothing out of the ordinary. Sold by H-E-B, some fresh baked bread. Love to see it. I probably would like some lemon. But yeah, there's a lot of acid in the radish mignonette, so that's kind of where the acidity is coming from. Because this is very vinegary and there's a lot of lemon juice in it. So there definitely will be a smidge of lemon juice in there. Alright, so we got a nice little serrated here. And then what we're going to do is kind of cut out a nice little V here. And then we're going to put the crab meat and a little bit of lettuce in there. Now we've got a little hollow, nice little hollow place to put our bread roll. But before we do that, we are going to add a little bit of lettuce. Because what's a lobster roll without some lettuce? I'd love a sponsorship. Thank you for clipping that, Pluto boy. One day we'll get him. We'll get him. We'll get him one day. Pluto is definitely my #1 clipper. Sub boat. Alright, so we got some nice red leaf lettuce here. We're just going to place inside. Just going to cut this down a little bit. Place this nicely in here. There we go. Alright, and then we're going to put the lobster meat in it. Lobster roll has been filled. Gloves here. Yoink. And then mignonettes. And the radish mignonette right on top. Radish mignonette is on, and then we're going to get a little herb on top, just for a little extra added value. Alright, so we've got some chives here, a little chive, a little fresh parsley, Lovely. All right, so get a lobster roll. We're just gonna give it a slice right down the middle here. Here we have our lobster roll. Ta-da! All right. All right, before we dig into this, all right, just so we can do all the fun Instagram posting later. Take a little photo of this lobster roll for later. Now we're gonna eat it. All right, gotta roll my sleeves up. I'll hunker down here. All right, let me see this. Yeah. Mmm. That's good. Oh yeah. Tasty. Nice and acidic. Nice and lobstery. Mmm. Share. You want to say hi to that? Or... Also, are you Fast Eddie?
I'm Fast Eddie 204.
This is my dad, Edward.
Hi,
aka
everyone.
Fast Eddie 204 in chat. He's gonna have this lobster roll.
All right, I'm gonna try it. Mmm. Wonderful.
Thanks.
I voted for crab cake first, but that was too slow.
Sweet. Yep, that's my dad. Mmm. All right, that was good. Save the rest for later. Papa Dough, oh yeah. Whew, okay. All right, well, can we guess what's next? Crab cakes. All right, we're getting crab cakes ready. Crab cakes ready, boy. It's gonna be crab. Oh, crab. Don't worry about it. It's gonna be I got my little list here. It's gonna be, so I just did the lobster roll. It's gonna be crab cake, salmon tataki, lobster roll, the second version, seared salmon, and then the scallop with a risotto. That's gonna be really good. Whew, that was tasty, y'all. Round of applause. Alright, see how to read. This thing is a bit much. Hey, monkey. Okay. Crab cake time. We got the pan on around about medium heat. I'm gonna grab the crab cakes. Thanks. Well, Fast Eddie seemed to be enjoying his lobster roll, so I'd love to see it. Don't just take my word for it. All right. Okay, crab cakes time. We're gonna get a little sear down. I'm gonna pull my plate up. Maybe if I switch, I'll have a better time, easier time focusing on me. If I have a little bit crisper. Okay, that looks a little bit better. Sweet. All right. Got our crab cakes here, formed into beautiful little patties. Patty lights. All right, and then with this dish, I found this beautiful plate in my crusty crab pizza. Wish I could hear that. Oh, I can put on my headset for a half second. I'm gonna, just so you guys can see this, because I did some themed themed alerts. You guys have already seen the follow, but I'm going to. This is the subscription one.
This is a step in the right direction.
What kind of a pirate wears a hairnet?
The same kind that wears a kiss the cook apron.
Well, you never know, Patty. I might get lucky.
This is a test.
Yeah, I got a nice plate. Yeah, that's Patchy the Pirate from SpongeBob. I saw that clip and I was like, that's perfect. Well, Polly, maybe I get lucky. Yeah, that's like one of my favorite scenes. Is when he's like cooking Christmas dinner. Patchy the Pirate. Oh yeah, it's so funny. And then whatever the parrot's name is. The parrot hates him though. Alright, so we got some simmering oil, which is nice. It's gonna be about a medium heat. We're gonna start searing these crab cakes. Alright, we're gonna get those down. I'm just gonna kind of press them down a little bit just to get them kind of secured in the pan. Also kind of keep them hold down and kind of swish the oil around a little bit. The moving around the pan is just to get, you know, get that really nice flat kind of sear that you want. Plus it helps move the oil around in the pan a little bit, even kind of more evenly distributes it. So. let those sear for a little bit. I'm gonna get my plate ready. Also, there's something I did kind of like last-ish minute that I think you guys will like. Alright, so here we have something that's fun. It's a salt-cured egg yolk. So you take an egg yolk, you throw it in salt for 2 days or however long it takes, and then you add more salt to it until it's eventually dried out. And you can shave it onto things. And it has like a really nice egg texture, or, you know, egg flavor. Oh god, just got salt everywhere. But egg yolk. And you can reuse the salt as long as you like throw it in. You can throw it in the oven a little bit to dehydrate it because there's a lot of liquid that gets, you know, from the salt. So you can see the egg. You can see the egg still has the salt crystals and everything, and it's nice and hard. So I'm gonna like kind of brush the rest of the salt off. I'm gonna kind of use it as seasoning. So it's good. You get like the egg flavor, but you also get kind of like salt flavor. And it looks super cool. And it's like, and this is like 100% malleable. You can push it in, make it go longer. You can take this and, you know, like lay it flat and then get it super thin. But yeah, a nice little, I'm gonna shave it on top of the crab cake just for a little texture. So it'll be like, almost kind of like cheese on top. So you get salty egginess kind of. So it's just a cool little technique that I picked up. Easy to do at home, you know, all you need is salt and a little bit of time, so it's pretty fun. It goes really great, like, on pasta, especially, like on nice eggy pasta. All right, so the crab cakes are down. They've been searing on medium heat for about a minute, I'd say. We're gonna check the sear on them. We got a nice hard sear on those crab cakes. Now we're just gonna sear the other side a little bit and then plate it up. Gonna get a little bit of herbs out here for the top because it's gonna be plated with a bit of creme fraiche and the fresh herb. Got some parsley, got some chives, got some dill. Give these guys a little bit of mix here, and this will be our herb salad on top of the crab cake. So we got some flat leaf picked parsley here. Kind of break the leaves up a little bit. So we're gonna have a little herb salad on top. Some chives. And some more dill. Nice little salad. Get a little more parsley in here. Also, I could throw some of that lettuce in here if I wanted to, but I kind of wanted it to be a little bit more herby. And a good way to help kind of release a lot of the flavor in your herbs is to tear them before serving. Tearing them releases a lot of chlorophyll, which is the greening agent in most things. And parsley is the highest percentage chlorophyll to like herb. you can use like a little parsley and get a lot of green dye and flavor thanks to the high amounts of chlorophyll. Okay, just muted the mic. Had to use the air return to get all of that crab cake smoke. The crab cakes are nice and cooked. They're warm to the touch. They're nice and seared on one side. The other side is probably looking good as well, since it's been about equidistant, but at the same time on both sides about a minute and a half. So a little bit good. I lowered the heat about halfway through the cooking process just because the tops, they didn't get like too burnt or anything, but they're pretty well charred. So let's plate up the crab cake, and then we're gonna grab my egg yolk so I don't forget it. I thought I had a microplane, but we're just gonna use one of these because why not? All right, so like I said, I found this really cool plate that I love. My parents had, so I'm gonna use this for my crab cake plate. All right, let me grab that creme fraiche, by the way. Punches in the bathroom sun. Okay, so we're looking good. We got our plate, we got our crab cakes. Let's start plating up. Nice little kind of 5-ouncer there. Put it down right in the middle of the plate. A good way to keep this from moving is put a little creme fraiche down at the bottom of the plate. So we got our creme fraiche here, and we're gonna do what is called a rocher or a quenelle, depending on who you ask in the restaurant industry. But it's like the millennials ice cream scoop kind of. So it's basically just a you're kind of emulating the shape of the spoon in a quick cut motion. It's kind of hard to describe. You kind of have to see it, but here it is. And it's usually done with ice creams and stuff. That's why Pocket Jets are so popular. But I'm just gonna do a quick little easy one. Right on the side there. So it's just kind of like I want to say almost a football-like shape, to be honest. I don't know. Every time I've described it like that, chefs are like, no, it's a quenelle shape, but it's a fucking football type shape. Some people get so
Thank you for your
like,
patronage.
up in arms about it, like, oh, it's not a quenelle, it's a rocher. Oh, bro, look at me. Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. Fucking line cooks, man. They are a different kind of strange. I'll tell you that. All right, so we got our, and before we do the herb salad, I'm gonna grate my little egg on it. We got my salt cured egg yolk here. I'm just gonna grate it right on top of the creme fraiche and a little bit on the side using this grater here. All right, so we got nice. And it's kind of coming off like you would see like a cheese, or honestly it looks like lemon rind peel kind of a little bit. But we're gonna finish with some herbs. We got parsley, dill, and oh, thank you for the follow, Angela. Welcome in. Holy shit, dope costume. Thank you, Spirit Halloween for the threads. Yeah, so crab cake, creme fraiche, salt cured egg yolk, and then we're just gonna finish with a little bit of herb right here. There we go. Alright, and we have crab cake. Woo! Tim tattoos go with those, dude, true. Take a quick little photo later. Only thing I can think of is Creme Fresh's fucking Randy Marsh in one episode of South Park, yeah. So yeah, we got the crab cake here. As you can see, it's kind of hard to see the little flakes of the salt cream egg yolk. You can kind of see them there on top of the vanilla creme fraiche a little bit. Yeah, so I got the crab cake, got the herb salad on this nice little plate. Just finishing this up real quick. Okay, let's eat it. Looks great. Thank you, Angela. Thank you for the follow, by the way. All right, so the crab cake, lots of mayo, breadcrumbs. We got the parsley. We got the creme fraiche, salt cured egg yolk. Let's see how it is. That is good. That creme fraiche is really good. Exclamation point recipes for all the recipes. I didn't make this creme fraiche myself. It's really not that difficult. A little bit of lemon, buttermilk, cream. Set it in your kitchen for a couple days, and you got a nice creme fraiche. This is solid, and this is what I was saying about like the panko. That nothing like a nice full of crab cake. And the salt cured egg yolk on top is adding a nice little bit of texture and a little bit of egg, a little bit of salt. That was good. All right. Okay, moving on. Let me find the right bowl for this. All right, so next we're going to do our next lobster preparation. First one we did lobster roll, now we're going to do a lobster, excuse me, a lobster tail with hollandaise and fried shallot, with a little bit of dill. So, just another way to cook lobster. Woo. I've been wasting all my time. I could stand to hear a little more crabbery, to be honest. All right, so here we have another lobster tail. Another kind of 5 ounces of lobster meat from about a 6 to 7 ounce lobster tail.
I'm just sitting here watching.
Thank you for the lurk. Hey, Robin, welcome in. Thank you for the lurk. So we're going to kind of not dice this up, but we're just going to cut it into nice thick chunks here. There we go. Nice little bite-sized chunks, not too small. It's about 1 lobster tail's worth. Throw this over here. Okay. Crab, rave. All right, so going into a little bit of hollandaise here. This is gonna be fun because I love making hollandaise. Hey, the crab cakes. Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, me too. Yeah. Alright, hollandaise time. So we got some water a-boiling over here. Some water boiling in our double boiler here. So hollandaise is a bit of a tricky sauce, but it's an egg and butter sauce essentially. All right, so we have a bowl, a metal bowl that we're going to be cooking the hollandaise in over the double boiler. Water's about to boil, so we're going to throw the eggs in here. And generally, to start off, you don't want to start whisking right away with your hollandaise because that will cause it to be a little bit more frothy than anything else. grab a little spatula. Spatula here somewhere. And this is just egg, lemon juice, and a little bit of vinegar. Just kind of stirring this egg up a little bit. Okay, so we have our egg mixture, and then we're going to put it over the double boiler here now that it's hot. Grab a towel. Like I said before, you don't want to start whisking just yet. Because when you start whisking a little bit too early, then the eggs get more frothy than kind of creamy. So before it gets too hot, because you don't want to, you obviously don't want to curdle the egg, because you want to keep the egg in a certain window so where you don't cook it, but it's still, you don't overcook it, so before it gets thickened the way you want. So now that the water's going, so you're just kind of stirring the eggs right now. So you don't want to leave it on too long. So right here is just 6 ounces of clarified butter. And to clarify butter, you get about 8 ounces of regular butter. You cook it on medium to low heat while removing the milk solids, because butter is part milk. I mean, it's milk solids plus water solids to combine into butter. So there's a much higher percentage of milk solids to water solids. So when you see like European butter has higher milk percentages, like 84%, if you see like something like European butter, will usually have percentages on, and that's just percentage of milk fat content to water content. And that those butters will generally be a little bit darker in color as well, because there's more milk, less water, or less additive. So I'm gonna put the egg back on a little bit. There we go. Alright, and then now that the eggs have thickened slightly, I'm going to start whisking in my butter. Grab a whisk. And we're going to start adding in the butter here. in kind of smaller increments. So you don't want to add too much butter, because you don't want to break the sauce. So you just add a little bit of hollandaise, or a little bit at a time. Make sure not to add too much. Add a little smidge of water here because it's tightening up a little bit faster than usual. All right, and then we're going to keep on adding the butter. Move this off the heat just a little bit more here. Alright, so I took it, I put it in the fridge just for like a half a second. Where did I put my butter? Oh, there it is. So yeah, just put it in for about a half a second just because it was getting a little bit too hot. Hotter than I wanted it, so keep adding our butter here. I'll start thickening it up nicely. Then you're going to want to season it with a little bit of salt. Be a little bit reluctant to add pepper just because usually hollandaise are a touch more salty. But now that we have the sauce nice, we're going to take our crab here, diced crab, and we're going to toss it in the hollandaise. Stir it up a little. So we got the lobster in the hollandaise, and this is just to kind of keep the lobster warm up a little bit in the hollandaise sauce. Also, you know, get it nice and glazed. Wow. I'd already said, but lobster, it's nice and thick. I'm just gonna kind of warm the hollandaise and the lobster over the double boiler a little bit. Alright, now that the hollandaise is nice and warm with the lobster in it, we're going to, in a bowl, nice lobster tail, nice butter sauce. What could go wrong? Who doesn't love a nice hollandaise? And then we have some little crispy shallots that I fried. Low heat around 325. That'll be a nice little textural component on top of this nice succulent lobster. Fried shallots, not dusted in anything, no cornstarch, just fried. And then throw some more herbs on there because butter plus herbs plus lobster equals win. Alright, so lobster's in. Got some chives here. Throw some chives down. Just a little bit of dill. Not a lot. And some fresh parsley. Herbs on everything today. Fish and herbs is just a winning combination. Hard to beat. Unmatched in the current era. Parsley, chives, and dill. There we go. All right, and that is our second lobster preparation. Our second lobster preparation there. Can't hardly see. But anyways, lobster with hollandaise is in there, and it's delicious. I'm gonna take a little photo later. All right, let's give it a little go here. Hey, there's the crab ready. Let's go. Lobster with a shallot. I mean, lobster butter shallot. Can't go wrong. That is good. There's some nice crispy shallots on there. W. Awesome. I need to get some water. Okay. Alright, so coming up next we got the salmon tataki, we got crispy skin salmon, and scallop almondine. Three more things to plate left. I'm gonna take a quick little bathroom break. We will be right back.
Oh, let's go right off the bat. Let's fucking go. 3 seconds in. We're back.
Whichever more inspiring.
Oh!
email thing.
From that email. Bang.
Huh? Bro, dude! That was cool.
Oh my god! Oh, what a free flip. That was insane.
Ooh.
Yes, sir. Whoa, no! Well, you guys got it! Let's go! I was just the first, you know, like the option play? I was just one of the options.
That's right.
Yeah.
You could have pitched the fullback or the, you know, or the wide out, but you just got the fullback.
Oh, weird ass touch. I get the pass, let's go. I mean, it's all right.
Didn't have too much.
Oh.
Kind of waiting for it to come down a little bit. Your little states.
Dude, you only lost by one.
Whoa. The camera angle's so weird for that.
Dude, thanks. First ever redemption of an RL1v1.
God, it's so cool. Hello. What? Nice. Full shot, babe. Full shot.
Look at this,
Let's go.
dude. Look at this.
Full shot. You can finger on the approach. Oh! Let's go! Nice pass. I think I was going in there.
Oh my.
Wait, just. Might switch this up. Not change like that. I just like waited there. I was like, oh, it's gonna come here eventually. Oh, what a touch.
Let's go.
Like, I got.
Ooh, campfire. That's pretty
Flannel? Yeah.
Campfire.
I just literally, yeah.
Oh my god, no! Of course. Of course we both thought of it.
I was like, flannel? Campfire? Hell yeah.
Well, we came to the same conclusion. Respect.
There, yeah. And then, oh, he turned around and like wanted me to jump. Yes?
Oh, let's go! Right off the bat! Let's fucking go! 3 seconds in. We're back. Oh, that play. Whichever one's fire. Oh, nice pass. Big plus energy. Oh no!
my
It's
God.
now. Let's go.
Yes,
huge.
dude. Cut him open. Woo!
Hello. Good. Pickle, and we're back. I mean, cucumber, still. Alright, same at the talkie time. Getting back to the tataki, I seared it a little bit earlier on stream. Now I'm gonna cut it. Seared it with some blackening seasoning, with sesame seeds, ginger, a lot of kind of togarashi things. Pickle Rick, right? So we're just gonna get a couple slices of cucumber here. Pickle Rick. Anybody watch, or has anybody seen any of the new episodes of Rick and Morty, the latest season? I've been buying them all on YouTube just because I'm a fan of the show. Not like a diehard fan or anything. I just like the show. I think it's really good. I like things to the extent to where like I don't care if it changes direction. Like you know. I have not planned on it though. Yeah, it's hilarious. Like I liked all seasons of Rick and Morty, but I know a lot of the other people didn't really like season like 4 or like I think 4 or 5. I don't know. From like the comments are everyone's like, oh, you know, they're returning to like their form. But I liked seasons 4 and 5, so I don't know. You know, I like things, but I'm not going to critique them. You know, I don't like things enough to, you know, because that's, you know, it's just about being an artist. Like. I feel like a lot of people don't think about that. It's like they're doing the art that makes them happy, and like it's like when when a band like changes their sound or whatever, and it's like like the old people who listen to them don't like them anymore because they changed their sound. But like that's how artists progress and get better and evolve. And if you don't like it, just listen to the newer, like just listen to the older stuff. You know, just watch the old episodes essentially. All right, so we got a couple slices of salmon here. Then we have some apple rounds as well. They've just been kind of chilling. I'm gonna grab my ponzu. Alright, got my apple ponzu and my chili oil that I made. Speaking factual statements, but all right, so we got that salmon that we cooked earlier, chilled it out a little bit. Now we're gonna slice it. All right. Sweet. Some slices here. And we're gonna put these in a bowl real quick. Whoop. We're gonna put these guys in here a bit. So we got our salmon, kind of lightly cooked pieces here in this bowl. Then we're gonna kind of start assembling the cucumber and apple on. Kind of shingle this much. So now we're just kind of placing all of the nice slices on the plate. Let's get one more apple slice right there. There we go, nice and circular. Awesome. So now we have a nice kind of, I guess I should probably pull this up. Nice kind of lattice work on the rounds of apples and cucumber. And then with this, all of the kind of apple scrap that I had for making those nice little rings, I used to make a little ponzu. And ponzu is a kind of like a Japanese condiment used with some sort of like really acidic citrus, lemon. But this is going to be with apple, so apple, a little bit of soy, usually like mirin or sweet wine, some vinegar and stuff. All right, but actually, I forgot we were doing a little broken vinaigrette here. So we're taking the ponzu here, about 2 ounces, and this is very acidic. It's like nice, light and bright, lots of apple. And then we have chili oil that I made, exclamation point recipes, but lots of chili and garlic. We're just gonna mix this in with the ponzu, creating kind of like a broken vinaigrette. So, but it's gonna be a little bit spicy, very sweet, and this will kind of be the what I would like vinaigrette, but it's really just kind of like a broth. It's gonna be in the bottom. So let's get our chives right on top. And this is a nice kind of cold dish that I love doing. Alright, and then we have the ponzu here, so I'm just gonna kind of pour it around the sides, and that'll be kind of like the broth. There we go. So lots of acid, vinegar, a little bit of heat from the chili oil. Some lightly cooked salmon. A nice looking dish here. Kind of throw it up here. Not hard to see, but with nice, nice bit of cucumber on top, because that salmon is going to be a little bit spicy. So there's a lot of kind of things to help kill a lot of the acid that you would see be on this dish. Pulling that up a little bit. Here we go. All right, let's eat it. All right. Get a little salmon, get a little cucumber, a little apple. That's good. Nice and spicy. Also very, very refreshing. I kind of forgot how spicy the chili oil was, but it's good. I mean, the ponzu helps a lot, kind of cool it down. Oh, that's nice. Very tasty. Okay. Alright, and with that, leaves us one or two more things. So we're going to be cooking a little crispy skinned salmon. Coming up next with sauce Auciel, which is a very fun sauce, has a lot of history. And it's like one of the first like French sauces, like old sauces that I really like kind of got into, thanks to the chef that I had in Georgetown. But yeah, Auciel is the French word for like sorrel. So it's salmon with sorrel, and this has a lot of history in the Troyes brothers. Very big in revolutionizing, kind of starting Michelin, well, starting the beginnings of Michelin culture in France. But they were doing like their like kind of claim to fame was salmon Auciel, like medium rare, because they were doing this like late, like I want to say like early 60s, no, early 70s. It's a really good chef's kiss about, I think, the not the son, but like the grandson, kind of like carrying the torch of the Troyes name. But they're still, you know, a big cooking family in France. But they kind of helped refine, because they were like the first people in France, and they got like who would serve salmon like raw, or not raw, but like partially cooked, kind of like the way we do it tataki. Just because up until that point, French food was, you know, good, but it was just very heavy and buttery and creamy. So them two at the restaurant where they were at in their hotel, they like really helped push like nouvelle French cuisine. So this is kind of a little homage to them. But it's sorrel, which is a like a fresh, bright, light kind of leaf. You see them, they're generally like around this long, and they have a nice like oxalic acid texture. You also find sorrel on the ground, you know, which is how I find quite a bit of it. You know, things that you can forage and stuff. It doesn't really grow very well naturally in Texas. Only the small little wood sorrels that kind of looks like clovers. But I got my salmon. Dish up, but sauce Auciel basically is it's like kind of like a sorrel-based cream sauce with creme fraiche. So it's nice and light, and it, you know, accented the kind of medium rare. You know, it kind of brought interesting culinary history. Thank you, bringing some a little bit more kind of refinement to France way back in the day, and kind of the beginnings of the nouvelle cuisine. So that's cool. Anyways, I'm just killing time until my pan heats up. So now the pan is up. I'm gonna grab my salmon. Piece of salmon here. Hey, what's up, Llama? Welcome in. Alright, had to turn the hood vent on a little bit. We've got the salmon here with the sorrel sauce, and we're just gonna season it a little bit. How doth it be going? Dude, it's going great, Llama. Yeah, we got a couple more things to do, but welcome in. Started a little bit late just because I kind of messed things up a little bit earlier, but we've got our salmon here, and just gonna get a little bit of salt here, some kosher salt. And so what we're going for here is a crispy skin on the salmon. And kind of pro tip, the best way to get the salmon skin crispy is not to salt it or season it. I'll put a little black pepper on here, because salt, with meat, adds moisture. Same thing. So when you put the skin side down with salt on it, it's never. I mean, it's going to take a long time to get crispy. With just because the salt's going to create moisture on the skin, which takes even longer to cook. So number one trick to making crispy salmon skin: don't season the skin. Looks like our pan's pretty hot, so we're about to drop it. Got the skin side nice and ready to go. I think kind of first thing you want to do is to kind of keep pressure with your hand and kind of pushing the salmon down a little bit, so it doesn't stick. Also, it gets oil kind of all around the skin. For mom. Alright, and then you just want to move the salmon around a little bit. Make sure it doesn't stick. And then in a minute we're going to use our spatula and press it down so we can get that skin nice and crispy. So just kind of pressing her down, not too, don't need to press down too hard, just a nice light gentle press, kind of firm. And you'll kind of feel it. The more pressure you put, the more like bubbles that are happening under, because that's the chemical reaction of actually cooking. It's the Maillard crust, which is what it's called. So the Maillard crust is a chemical reaction of, like, let's say you throw a piece of meat down on the grill right, and then it starts that crust. So that is called the Maillard crust, or bread. Even bread technically is the Maillard crust. The the crust of the bread that forms. It's just proteins converting with water. So. We're still pressing the skin down. And since this isn't like this is about a 6-ounce piece of fish, it's not too big or anything, so I'm not going to keep it on the flame too long, and I'll probably be cooking it most of it on the skin side because I want to get it crispy, and I also don't want to overcook the fish too much. So. Alright, it's going to take a minute here. Plate here. How's your evening going? Salut Salama. So I got our sauce ACL right here, and this is just going to be really simple, kind of keeping in line with the Trois Gaulle brothers. So it's just going to be salmon and sauce. So that salmon skin is getting nice and crispy now. You can kind of feel it already. Just going to flip it over. Oh yeah. A little more time. It is almost nice and crispy. I'm doing good, dude. Just working on the game a bit more. Nice. That's awesome. What you working on in the game? How far through this are you? I got one more thing to cook after this. So, did the crab cakes, did the tataki, did both of the lobster roll, lobster hollandaise. Now we're on the second salmon dish, and then scallop with risotto almond. Got a little more to see. But yeah, my dad, he's Fast Eddie 204 in chat, and he's been coming out and trying some of the food and stuff. So just been hanging out. OMG, yas. All right, so now that the salmon skin is nice and crisp, we're gonna flip it over to the other side. So we're gonna add a little bit more oil. Okay, so a smidge. I'm gonna pull off the heat. Because that high heat was mostly just to get the salmon skin crispy. So we're gonna lower the heat a little bit, flip it, and start cooking. So you can see the salmon skin is nice and crispy there. And then I'm gonna mute my audio. Hey, what's up, Pluto? Pluto Boy says, well, I'm gonna mute my audio real quick because it's gonna get loud in the hood vent. So. Plu Kung Fu. So pull the salmon off the heat. We're going to add a little bit of butter down in the pan, and we're going to curl it. Most people would call this a baste, and it kind of is, but technically this is a perlé. It's not a big difference. It's a French term that you learn in culinary school, so technically it's not a baste, it's a perlé. Blue Kung Fu. Oh yeah, yeah. I added that the SpongeBob F emote. I had that one around, and I just kind of threw it on the follower. But yeah, so the butter's in the pan. Now I'm just gonna start basting it. A little butter right on the pan there. Right on that nice crispy skin. Alright, well now that the butter has been seared nicely, we're going to kind of let it rest for a half a second. That glaze is in. Anyways, while that's chilling, got my sauce here. Put down the plate and just kind of get a little smear here. And then put the salmon right on top of that. And again, this is a salmon-based sauce called sauce saucier, and the white is just really kind of. How about I just turn this off? Yeah, it's just like super. All right. Well, anyways, you can always see it over here. So. All right. So the salmon's good. Got a nice crispy skin on it. Put it down right here in the middle of the sauce. And that is it. Just a simple sauce with salmon. Nice crispy skin. Talk like a pirate. We're about to crack into this here salmon meaty. I mean, I had to. I get it. All right. Yara, we love it already. Watching the pirate chef. All right, so we have the sorrel sauce salmon. It's kind of hurt my voice to do this a little bit. But a nice crispy skin you see. Yara, you see here. Nice and crispy. Tap, 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 tap. With a nice light sorrel sauce. Very bright. Dang, it looks good. Thank you. Try it out. Salmon skin nice and crispy. Stayed nice and crispy. Love to see it. It's good. Sorrel sauce is nice, light, and bright.
Stay hydrated. This is a threat.
Thank you for the hydration. Appreciate it. Oh, Lama, have you seen the crab rig yet? I don't think you have. Yes, but
Not now. I'll save that for later.
do you want some? If not, no worries. Oh yeah, that was a good clip from Pluto Boy. Nailed that one. I need that hydration, thank you. That clip rocks. Sure it does. All right, now for our very last thing, we're gonna do scallop almondine and another French dish. No surprise. So scallop almondine is like scallop with almonds. So like scallop, almonds, butter, and parsley. Usually like a little bit of lemon juice as well. And then risotto. I'm submitting it to them. That's great. So yeah, I'll start heating up that risotto now. Okay, so risotto. To be specific, tremendous risotto. So risotto is a rice dish from Italy, and it's usually done with like chicken stock and a little bit of onion, but multiple worlds of variations. But you take any sort of short grain rice. I don't know what the traditional rice is, but any sort of Italian short grain rice. You cook it with just like a little bit of stock, or I mean traditionally chicken stock, but I did mine with a little bit of water and shallot and garlic to sweat, and you're pretty much cooking the rice slowly with a little bit of water to release the starches of the rice. So you're cooking it, but you're also kind of like thickening it a little bit. So you have the rice right here, and then we're gonna bring it up. So I already kind of stirred it a little bit earlier. It takes a little bit of time to do on stream, and it'll make a lot of noise. So I just did it off stream. I'm just gonna bring it up a little bit. We got rice here. Pan a little warm. I'm gonna grab some cream. And just like any good French dish, it has butter. So we got the cream there. We're going to start kind of breaking the rice up and then lowering the temperature a little bit. So we're going to kind of keep an eye on that. I'm going to add just a smidge of water. And that'll kind of be cooking and warming up while we get the scallops underway. And the reason why I keep kind of stirring it is just to kind of release some of the starches from the rice. So you got cream and a little bit of pike stock, aka water. It's just going to be chilling there while we cook this scallops. And scallops. We've got a pan, a little bit of oil. Grab our scallops. Hoorah. Season these scallops up I should probably put a glove on. Good one. We don't want to be getting everything fishy. Scallops do generally have a very strong and potent fishy smell, even when they're 100% fresh and fine. They're just one of those very fishy. I was about to say fishy fish, but technically they are a bivalve. Alright, so you want to get your pan nice and hot. Gonna get my seasoning up here, a little bit of salt. Then I'm gonna turn the scallop over. Smidge more salt, not too much. I generally don't like putting pepper on black scallops because you're cooking at a pretty high heat, and the black pepper, especially when it's coarse, tends to burn a little bit. So we're gonna be cooking this at a pretty high heat. And check our pan. Stirring up our risotto, keep it chilling. Make sure to keep moving it in the pan. Because it is already pretty much cooked. I'm just looking to cook down this cream a smidge more. All right, we're about to put our scallops down. Hey, what's up, Yarly? How you doing? Welcome in. Just doing our 4th cooking stream here. And today, since it's October, we hit the community goal, and I am in costume. So we're gonna start searing the scallops here. You wanna make sure your pan is like almost ripping hot. Those are some tiny scallops, so they're gonna cook pretty quickly. They're not like a U10 scallop. I think those are 9/16 scallops, and that's just how many. 9/16 means how many parts per pound. So like the smaller shrimps, you see like U90s, it's 90 per pound, as opposed to like U12s, which are larger shrimp. So that's just kind of how seafood is like weighed. All right, stirring the risotto still. You can see it's thickening up a lot, but it's still like, it's nice and thick. And this is called like jumping risotto. You want like a nice wave here. So this is looking pretty good. And for the scallops, we're just gonna press them down. Just gonna get a little bit more oil in the pan. Turning on the hood bit real quick. Okay, like I said, I just had to turn the hood bit on because it's a lot of smoke coming out here. So the risotto's done. Once it starts picking up from the pan like that, as generally you can tell it's nice and thickened. So I'm going to flip my scallops over and continue to cook them the rest of the way. And then in the risotto, we just added a smidge of butter. I'm just gonna mix that butter in there. Keep cooking these scallops a little bit. Alright, so butter is nice and incorporated into the risotto. It's nice and creamy. Anyways, that's just going to be a little bit loud for a sec. So anyways, we got the, for the rest of the almondine, we have the almonds, lemon juice, and our chopped parsley here, and this will be kind of the butter sauce for the scallops. I just put a little butter in the pan. It's nice and brown now. So we're going to add our almonds. And then parsley. And then the lemon juice to deglaze, so then we'll keep filleting. Risotto is still nice and creamy here, nice and warm. So we got the salmon sauce, not the salmon sauce, the scallop sauce ready to go. Just gonna get my plate out. We got the risotto warmed up. This will be our last thing for the evening. One of my favorite plates from back in my fine dining days. It's like got a really big coupe here with a small bowl. So we're gonna get salmon down, I keep saying salmon. I'm gonna get our risotto down in that. Got salmon on the brain. Get it in that bowl there. Nice and flat. We'll place our scallops on it. You can see the lemon juice and butter is cooked down to kind of like a bit of a sauce here. So I'm gonna leave that and we're gonna talk the scallops. We have our scallops here. Alright, we're gonna get our almonds, kind of fill in the gaps here. Maybe a little fresh parsley as well. Couldn't hurt. We love fresh parsley. I've been using it all stream. This makes sense with seafood. So let's get a little chive on there. And this is scallops almondine. Scallops almondine a la doughboy. Got our nice risotto in the bottom there. I'm just gonna take a quick photo. Nice seared scallops on top. Almondine. Alright, let's eat it. Alright. I love me a scallop. I wanted to save this as our last thing because one of my favorite dishes right here. Scallops and risotto. I used to work at a place in Georgetown out here in Texas that scallops and risotto was kind of like a. It was always on the menu in different like forms and variations, and it was always one of my favorite things to eat. That was good. That was exactly how I wanted it in the night right here. Yep, so you get the lemon and the almond, parsley from the butter sauce, I mean the almondine butter sauce. So good. Man, I am full. Looks so fudgy good, thank you. That's the most like, I feel like I cook more on this cooking stream than I do most times. Which I like. I mean, I'm surprised it hasn't been that long. It's not even been 3 hours. I thought I would be a little bit over, but things have been running smoothly. Even though I started later, too. Weird. I don't know. I mean, I'm happy with it. I just thought it would be a little bit longer. But then again, I did have a lot of it ready to go and stuff, so. Hey, monkey. Alright. That risotto is very rich. I'm not gonna eat anymore. Not right now, at least.
This is a step in the right direction.
What kind of a pirate wears a hairnet?
The same kind that wears a kiss the cook apron.
Well, you never know, Patty. I might get lucky.
This is a step in the right direction.
What kind of a pirate wears a hairnet?
The same kind
Yo,
that wears
hey,
a kiss
what's
the
up?
cook apron.
Well, you never know, Patty. I might get lucky.
How you doing? We just got done with the cooking stream.
This is
Cooked
a
a lot of
step in
fun
the right
stuff today.
direction.
What kind of a
We'll be
pirate
posting a
wears
little
a
bit more.
hairnet?
As
The
always, the
same
recipes
kind
will
that
be
wears a
posted
kiss the cook apron.
Well, you
in my
never know,
Discord.
Patty. I might get lucky.
There's all the way cooked today. Game Boy Pluto with 80 gifted subs to the
This
community.
is a
Love to
step
see
in
it.
the right direction.
What kind of a pirate wears a hairnet?
Sour got
The
a
same
sub.
kind that wears a kiss the cook
Been there,
apron.
shot that.
Well, you never
Millie,
know, Patty. I might
Rye,
get lucky.
and the original Angel. Couple of our newer donuts getting the gift subs there. You love to see it.
This is a step in the right direction.
What
Stream
kind
them
of a
all so you can be
pirate
there for the
wears a
actual cooking.
hairnet?
I mean, I'm gonna
The
post
same
it.
kind that
I'll
wears a
post it
kiss
on
the
YouTube
cook
like I do when I have the
apron.
cooking
Well,
stream.
you never
so you'll
know,
be able to see
Patty.
it.
I might get lucky.
Post it a little bit later. But yeah, we had a good time.
Thank you for
I
your
always post these on
patronage.
YouTube because I know a lot of people can't make it. Thank you for the follow. I thought you were already following me. Huh, that's funny. Because we were playing Jugas the other day. Yeah, thanks for the follow though. Thank you for your patronage. I thought it was too LOL. Right? Yeah. Yeah, because you were chilling for a little bit. It was just funny. It's official. It's official. Excellent stream. Awesome. Thank you guys for stopping by. Thank you for the gifted subs, Clueless Llama. Thank you for hopping in as well. Shout out to Spirit Halloween for the dope costume. Shout out to Duke's Mayonnaise, looking for that sponsor. One day we'll get it. Shout out to Fast Eddie 204 in chat for letting me make a mess in this kitchen. Appreciate it. We are going to give somebody the old raid ski. Can't go wrong. I think we'll raid Mr. Dirty D. Thank you for the cooking history / knowledge. Yes, I am. Yes, needs to happen. I am. Yeah, I'm full of random knowledge about food. Passing my years of cooking on to followers, one cooking stream at a time. Yo, 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 hey, Robin, welcome in. I thought you were a different costume each stream. Yeah, so I usually don't do costumes, but since it was Halloween, I was like, why not, right? And then everyone reached the gift, we reached the gifted sub total, so if I do it again and people keep keep hitting the sub goal then for sure. Costume is great. Thank you, Robin. Welcome in. We're just about to kill things off. I mean, we're just about to stop things. We're going to be raiding Dirty D here, good friend of mine. And the VODs will be posted on YouTube within the week. So if you missed the stream, it will be posted on there sometime this week. So look around for that. Looks like we got about 9 viewers ready to go. Yar, give me your booty. All right, let's go hand it over to Dirty. Actually, let me pull him up so I can go talk to him. See what is going on with the man. He was in the chat earlier, so always appreciated. All right, let's go send him some love, Dirty.
Alright, so we're in the kitchen. Yo, dog. We're at the kitchen. This is a little squad. We're in the grocery store here. We're gonna do a little squad.
What's up, Double E? How you doing, man? I was there up until the Hollandaise. After the Hollandaise, I decided to hop back on the game. It was a W stream, though.